Hey, thanks for dropping by to the Planners on Purpose podcast, created by Naomi Tucker, CMP. Now, this space is for the event planners to encourage and empower you so that you can fully live your life on purpose. So before we dig in, please take a moment to subscribe so you get future shows. Now, here she comes, your host, Naomi.
Hi everyone, this is Naomi Tucker here, your host at Planners on Purpose podcast. I'm really excited to have you here and be talking with you today. We are going to be talking about mental health today. And as many of you probably know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's all about elevating the conversation around mental health. I feel as though there are so many conversations that are left unsaid. There's so many situations and so many people that we support that have not been heard. And it's great to be able to have this space to really uplift these conversations and drive awareness and point to resources within our community. So excited to be able to uncover with you these 3 simple myths about mental health today. But first, I want to know, how are you doing? I hope you're doing really well. It is on the other side of spring here, and very excited because that weather at night that usually is still a little chilly here in Wisconsin, it seems as though it's turning over and starting to be a little bit warmer. So that is exciting because we get to do fun things like fire pits. My family loves to do fire pits and hang outside and have nice evenings hanging with our friends. So I hope that where you are, things are turning around too, and you're able to get out more, move about more, and really enjoy this beautiful, beautiful planet of ours. So let's jump right in. Again, like I mentioned, we're talking about the 3 simple myths about mental health. So now I'll give you number 1. So my first myth is that most people think that we should not talk about mental health. And this is a very common myth, and it's really just totally incorrect. We do need to talk about mental health. We need to continue to drive the awareness of it. And we need to make sure that we're examining ourselves to ensure that we're healthy and we're taking the measures that we need in order to be more healthy as well. So in the past, I think that mental health had been one of those things that we put under the carpet, it's overlooked or it's pushed aside, and we don't talk about it. So in the past, mental health, the many capacities, whether you're dealing with burnout, paranoia, perhaps it's anxiety or even depression, many of those things got overlooked. They were pushed to the side. They weren't talked about. And at the time, we probably either didn't know it or didn't realize that it was not really the best way to handle those situations. But now we really want to make sure that we're uplifting those conversations and that we're getting help to those that need it. And if we're able to provide any preventative measures to assist anyone, that is certainly something that we should take into consideration. So if you're one of those people that feel like, why is mental health an issue? Or why are people talking about mental health? Or perhaps you don't feel we need to talk about it. Well, I'm just here to tell you that it's something that absolutely needs to be talked about. And once you do that, you allow people to be open and you allow them to be honest about their experiences, and you allow them to possibly even get the help that they need. I have seen many times in my experience that even people that I work with have gone through different experiences in their life, whether they're getting married, possibly they're getting divorced, or maybe they're gone through a death of a loved one, or maybe even we've lost people that work with us as well, like in the industry. I have had several people over the years that we've lost one way or another, and they have passed away. So with those situations, and when you go through different transitions, you end up experiencing things that you've never experienced before. experiencing feelings and thoughts and desires and what have you. And sometimes it's best to either talk through someone with it, but many times people just don't talk about it. They feel like they have to bear the burden all themselves, that they have to get through it. If everyone else is able to deal with a sudden transition, then they need to be able to deal with the sudden transition. So again, it is definitely something that we should be talking about, that we should be bringing awareness to. So the myth around the fact that we should not talk about mental health definitely needs to be called out. So again, my first myth is we definitely should be talking about mental health instead of keeping it a secret and keeping it in the dark. Okay. The second myth. My second myth is that many people feel as though they can't contribute to someone that's experiencing challenges surrounding their mental health. And sometimes the reason that this myth exists is because you feel like you're not a person that's qualified to be helping in this area, or that you feel like you're unable to serve anyone that may need support. The big thing here is that you need to be able to be a person that someone can talk to you about their experiences. Many times, all of us has a circle of friends, circle of loved ones, and many times we might gain the ear or be a listening ear for those that are in our circle. And you are unique and you have your own way of communicating and having relationships with people around you. So the fact that a person comes to you and is able to express to you that they're probably going through certain situations, that's a big deal. And it actually is a amazing privilege for you to be in that person's circle and in that person's life, for you to be able to listen to and speak into that person if they're going through certain challenges. So absolutely, I feel like everyone on this earth is absolutely equipped to be able to talk with someone about their mental health challenges. Now, I'll tell you, I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist. So this is general advice for everyone. And obviously, if there's someone that is experiencing a challenge or a situation, you definitely want to be able to point them into the direction of a qualified healthcare professional so that they can get the help they need. But sometimes initially, some of these situations that we are working through are light, and we need someone to talk to, someone to express ourselves, because otherwise the person you're talking to could potentially just isolate themselves and not talk to anyone. And that is when things get a little bit more dangerous for that person, quite frankly. So I wanted to provide you with a resource. If you find yourself in a position that you're supporting someone that's experiencing challenges around their mental health, here's a couple options. So first of all, you can go ahead and refer them to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration Hotline. The acronym for that, because we love our acronyms, it's SAMHSA. So you can go ahead and give them this number, which is 1-800-662-HELP or 1-800-662-4357. You can also go to that website and get information and resources to be able to help you. So this particular helpline is a confidential, it's free, it's 24 hours a day, 365 days a year information service. They can provide services for you in English or Spanish, and they are there for individuals and family members that are facing any substance abuse disorders, or can point you into the direction of additional treatment facilities needed for those that are also battling mental health challenges. So I would like for you to go ahead and really have that number in your back pocket for if you need to be able to give it to someone to help them. I also want to give you a resource of a particular website called mentalhealthfirstaid.org. It's a wonderful website filled with many resources. So again, if you find yourself in a position where you're speaking with someone, or if you yourself have been going through maybe some depression, maybe some anxiety, go ahead and take a look at the resources that are available to you. Now, I know also, I'll give you another resource here. Many people have some resources at their job that can help them. Usually it's in the form of an employee assistance program or a resource program through their healthcare insurance. Be resourceful, help your friend, your family member, or even yourself, and look up what those resources are for you. Many of these are available for you at no cost. So again, it's just important to know your resources, know where you can point others, know where you can go to yourself to get some help so that you do not have to go through this alone. Okay. So that is huge for me. As a manager, I've been a part of many different situations with my team, and perhaps they're going through things in their life where they're not feeling too well, or they're just going through a challenging issue. I have managed through, I feel like it all. I've managed through having someone on my extended team pass away and having to, support other team members. With that, I've managed with teams going through different challenges themselves with either divorce or death of a family member, marriage, there's so many things. Also, I've been through situations myself. I've been through multiple children. I've been through health challenges as well. And all of these things, you need that community of support around you. So what you can do is be the best that you can be for a person that is actually needing to talk through what they are experiencing so that you can help be a part of freeing what's been weighing on them. And that's just such a good thing. So it's been a delight for me to be able to help people walk through their challenges and help them, just be that friend to help them get through some of their challenges, help them point in the different directions of where they can get some assistance to help uplift their spirits. And then just seeing them come through on the other end has been amazing. So I hope that helped you. Again, this is just combating the myth of that we, don't need to talk about mental health, or you can't contribute to someone that's experiencing these challenges. That is a myth. You absolutely can. And I pointed you to several resources that are able to help. Now, before I move into the third myth, I wanted to let you know about a very important resource. My Managing Your Burnout mini course is a free mini course. Did you hear that? It is absolutely free, and it helps you get through some of those high pressured and burnout situations and get you on a path to more freedom. So if you need to go from burnout to breakthrough, then you need to get your hands on this course. I encourage you to go to plannersonpurpose.com/managing burnout to sign up for this much needed course. And especially in this month, I just want to encourage and challenge everyone to take a look at their lives, look at where they're headed. If you're stressing, if you're high pressured, and if you find yourself not getting sleep or being resentful about your job, things like that, you definitely want to take proactive measures in order to kind of banish that burnout and put yourself on a different road to freedom and to clarity and to a little bit more peace. Okay. So go again to plannersonpurpose.com/managing burnout. Okay, so we're down to the third myth about mental health. Now, this one is that the signs of mental health are easy to see. Okay, now this myth may seem true, but it is not. At times, we hardly ever know when people are going through any challenges that is affecting their mental health and stability. Often there can be a lot of hiding that is done. Right? This can be an effort to form isolation within that person. That person might be looking to isolate themselves, or a person or even you may not be feeling so good about the way you feel and you don't want to talk about it. So it becomes very easy to hide. So I put this quote on my Instagram and I really love it and feel as though it definitely plays a big part when it comes to mental health. For those of you that don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and do it. It's Instagram.com and I'm at Planners on Purpose. But the quote is, pay careful attention to anything you try to hide. And that's a quote by Gretchen Rubin. So many times we find ourselves giving ourselves excuses for certain experiences that we're having. If we have a client that's putting us through high anxiety, we might say that client is being particular. If we're going through a high season of like burnout and high stress and it's really affecting our mental health, we might just say, oh, this is a season. After this program, I'm going to be okay. After this project, I'll be just fine. And if we are going through depression, through any reason at all, many of us have been through this probably within the last year, then we might be just saying that we're getting by. This will be over soon. We'll get by. And don't get me wrong. Many of us have bad days. And after the year that we've had, it's very easy for many of us to hide those signs that things are not okay. So my tip here is that we don't always think that signs of mental health are going to be easy to see. That we need to be looking out for each other. We always need to be talking to those that we love and that we care about. And even though there's some obvious signs and challenges, we need to make sure, like I mentioned in the previous myth, that we get people resources and help to those affected. So my tip here is that we always think the signs are going to be easy to see, but they're not. So we need to be looking out for each other. We need to be talking to those that we love and care about, and we need to be mindful of the obvious signs and challenges and make sure that we point people in the direction of the resources or go to those resources ourselves if we are experiencing anything that is challenging. The key here is really looking for those key signs and digging into it a little bit more with that person just to make sure that they are okay. And if you're a person who's experiencing these challenges yourself, be open. Talk to a friend. Talk to people about it. Go to those resources yourself and make sure that you're taken care of because your health matters. So those are the 3 myths that I had for you today. And I hope you gained some value from this conversation or from this talk. It's a very important subject, especially in an industry where I work, which is the event industry. And many of you listeners probably are in this industry. We definitely go through lots of high pressure, lots of stress and anxiety, especially trying to make these experiences for our clients be the best ever. With that comes a pressure unlike any other. And many times that pressure is just that adrenaline and you just are loving it and it's awesome. And then that's when you're literally working in your passion, and that's amazing. That's good. However, sometimes there are those situations where either we aren't able to handle that pressure or that pressure is borderline very dangerous and we mask it because we feel like we need to get through it. Those are situations where we definitely need to unpack and we need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. All this to say, we need to support each other and be as healthy as we can. So again, those are my 3 myths that you should know about mental health. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I cannot wait to deliver a new episode to you soon. Before I leave, I wanted to give you a quick update on our book club. For those of you that are interested in joining me for our next book, we will be talking about The Art of Gathering by Priya Parker, and that will be held on June 2nd, which is a Wednesday at 7 p.m. and could be seen on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube page. So you can go ahead to those platforms, type in Planners on Purpose, and you will get to me and we will join for that conversation. So I cannot wait to see you on June 2nd. Looking forward to speaking with everyone very soon. So that's all I have for this episode. We will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Well, that wraps it up for this episode. If you enjoyed the conversation, hit the like button and tell us how much you enjoyed the show by leaving a message in the comments. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.